Gather round, folks, for the tragically hilarious tale of Jimmy Mulligan. Our story kicks off with Miles, a prime specimen of humanity, if by humanity you mean glorified ape with an ego, and his two cronies. Their favorite hobby? Apparently, it's a competitive sport called tormenting the weak, and Jimmy, bless his chubby, quiet heart, is their star athlete. His only cheerleaders are Andy and Bobby, two other outcasts who, ironically, are often just collateral damage in Miles's daily acts of cruelty. Naturally, all this unprovoked abuse starts to wear on Jimmy. His mom, clearly a master of understatement, notices something is off. Jimmy, of course, plays it cool, because who needs parental concern when you're just silently crumbling? Then, Miles pulls a real power move, demanding a cool $100 from Jimmy, a kid who probably finds loose change under the couch, a major financial victory. Things are about to get delightfully violent until Vinny, a local tough guy whose mere existence apparently makes bullies soil themselves, waltzes in. Miles, a creature of pure courage, promptly tucks his tail and retreats. But Miles isn't a one-trick pony when it comes to cruelty. He's got a whole circus. Bobby gets his turn in the humiliation spotlight, almost shedding a tear until Jimmy, in a moment of pure, unadulterated sarcasm, reminds him, they're just douchebags, man. Later, in the cafeteria, Jimmy treats his friends to a mountain of food, presumably his coping mechanism. Andy and Bobby, being the good friends they are, never judge the sheer volume of his consumption. They're more concerned with Jimmy's budding, slightly creepy romance with Adrian, the shy girl who sneaks glances, because nothing says love like mutual social awkwardness. Miles, ever the charmer, interrupts their lunch, again demanding his protection money. A brief moment of heroism from another student is quickly shut down by Miles, who then gets a taste of his own medicine from an even bigger bully. Ah, karma, you beautiful, brutal thing. Post-school, Miles ambushes Jimmy on the roadside, because nothing says productive afternoon like extorting a child. Jimmy, surprisingly, finds a spine and refuses. This naturally leads to Miles beating him mercilessly. Just as things are getting properly dark, an elderly gentleman, Mr. Action, intervenes. Plot twist. Mr. Action, as it turns out, is a former boxing champion. Jimmy, clearly tired of being a human punching bag, begs for lessons. Mr. Action, with the grace of a man who recognizes a desperate plea when he sees one, agrees to find him a trainer. Jimmy's parents, after seeing his bruised face, again, finally concede. They send him to Manny's Boxing Training Center, run by a no-nonsense relic who agrees to train Jimmy, provided he actually commits. Because commitment is always the answer to avoiding physical pain. The training begins, and it's less Rocky montage and more excruciating reality. Jimmy, still being harassed by Miles, reveals the $100 problem. Mr. Action, a man of cunning and questionable financial advice, concocts a brilliant plan. Offer Miles $200, but demand a month to get it. This, he reasons, will buy Jimmy time to get properly lethal. The next day, Jimmy, channeling his inner Wall Street broker, offers Miles double the money for a month's peace. Miles, predictably, accepts. For once, Jimmy gets a break from being Miles's personal stress ball. Days turn into grueling training sessions. Manny, ever observant, notices Jimmy's slacking. He suspects a deeper emotional struggle. Mr. Action, confirming Manny's fears, worries about Jimmy's self-doubt. Manny, ever the pragmatist, states, I don't think he wants to be here. On the way home, Mr. Action reminds Jimmy that effort is never wasted, which is what every struggling student wants to hear. Then Jimmy's dad delivers the ultimate guilt trip. You can teach your kids someday, and they won't have to go through what you're going through now. Suddenly, Jimmy's motivation returns, because nothing inspires self-improvement like the threat of your future children being weak. The next day, Miles escalates to assaulting Bobby. Bobby, defeated, asks Jimmy how he can possibly fix things. Jimmy, now oozing confidence, thanks Dad, reassures him he has a plan. That evening, Jimmy bikes to Manny's gym with newfound vigor, almost taking out Manny in his enthusiastic clumsiness. From then on, Jimmy's training becomes a relentless assault on his own body. He confides in Andy about his plan to confront Miles, and Adrian, ever the eavesdropper, uses this as an opportunity for a heartfelt talk, solidifying their painfully awkward romance. At a party, Eddie, Miles's less intelligent henchman, tries to provoke Jimmy, only to be shut down. Turns out, not everyone appreciates fat jokes when the fat guy can now probably kick your teeth in. The day of reckoning arrives. Miles, ever the predictable antagonist, threatens Jimmy's friends if the money isn't delivered. Jimmy, now a master of quiet disdain, shrugs him off. A chance encounter with Vinny in the bathroom provides an unexpected pep talk. Meanwhile, Eddie, the world's worst spy, overhears and, like a good little minion, scurries off to Miles. Miles, seeing an opportunity for public humiliation, calls in Glassjaw Billy, a notorious local brawler. Word of the showdown spreads like wildfire. Teachers are blissfully unaware, probably focused on more pressing issues like standardized testing. Jimmy approaches Miles and his gang, radiating calm. Miles, realizing his usual intimidation tactics are about as effective as a wet noodle, introduces Glassjaw Billy. But wait, Vinny, the true puppet master of this suburban drama, has already dispatched his associates to intercept Billy. Miles is left to face Jimmy himself. The fight commences, and Miles, all aggression and no technique, swings wildly. Jimmy, surprisingly, holds his ground, blocking, weaving, and landing precise hits. Even a brutal punch to the face doesn't drop him. This isn't the same pathetic kid. This is Jimmy 2.0, defender of the weak, teller of dad jokes. As Miles begins to falter, his cronies attempt to jump in. But Andy and Bobby, finally done with being mere spectators in their own lives, join the fray. The tables turn, and the bullies are swiftly dispatched. The crowd erupts, because who doesn't love an underdog story? Jimmy confronts Miles, making it abundantly clear that the reign of terror is over for everyone. Miles, defeated and humiliated, slinks away. From a distance, Mr. Action beams with pride. Jimmy has not only gained strength, but also retained his compassion. A rare combination, apparently. The fight becomes the school's hottest viral content. Videos flood social media, and Jimmy becomes a local legend, inspiring others to find their own inner strength. At home, his parents are now overflowing with pride. At school, Jimmy, Andy, Bobby, and Adrienne, once the resident rejects, walk with confidence. The bullying fades, replaced by a newfound sense of unity. Jimmy becomes a quiet leader, a living reminder that true strength isn't about size, but about heart, determination, and the willingness to fight for what's right. And so, the story concludes, proving that even the most unlikely heroes can surprise everyone, especially themselves.